Ever found yourself pondering why your furry friend goes bonkers for catnip? Well, you're not alone. Catnip, a member of the mint family, is a plant that has a mesmerizing effect on our feline friends. It's a phenomenon that has captivated the curiosity of cat owners and scientists alike. Cats from all walks of life, whether they're the poshest Persian or the scrappiest stray, seem to have a strong affinity for this herb. The reactions, however, can be quite amusing. Cats may roll over it, flip around, rub their faces against it, and even get a bit frisky. After this burst of activity, they usually end up in a sort of trance, lying there seemingly zoned out. It's a sight that has puzzled many a cat lover. Why does this plant have such a profound effect on cats? What's the secret behind this feline fascination? Stay tuned as we unravel the scientific mystery behind cats and their love for catnip. Ready to delve into the science behind your cat's catnip craze? Let's dive right in. You've probably heard of catnip, but what exactly is it? Catnip is a member of the mint family, and it's the active ingredient, nepentolactone, that sends our feline friends into a frenzy. But how does it work? Well, when your cat gets a whiff of catnip, the nepentolactone molecules travel up their nose and bind to the olfactory receptors. These are the sensory neurons responsible for detecting smells. When the nepentolactone binds to these receptors, it triggers a response that mimics the effect of feline pheromones. And what happens next? Your cat enters a state of feline euphoria. They may roll around, leap about, purr loudly, or even drool. This catnip effect is a kind of sensory overload, akin to the pleasure humans might experience when indulging in their favorite food or listening to a beloved song. Now, you might be wondering why your cat can't seem to get enough of this plant. The truth is, it's a bit of a mystery. Some researchers believe that the catnip effect is a form of play behavior, while others think it could be a response to a perceived threat. Regardless of the reason, one thing is clear. For many cats, catnip is a source of great joy. But what about those cats that don't respond to catnip at all? Well, whether a cat is affected by catnip or not is down to their genetics. Around 30 to 50% of cats don't respond to catnip at all. So if your cat seems indifferent to this herb, don't worry, it's perfectly normal. Now that you know the science, are you curious about how often you should give your cat catnip? But before we delve into that, let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll be discussing the right amount of catnip for your furry friend. Don't go away. Wondering about the right amount of catnip for your feline friend? Well, you're not alone. It's a common question among cat owners. Let's get into it. Though catnip isn't harmful or addictive, it's important to practice moderation. Just like too much of any good thing can become less enjoyable over time, overexposure to catnip can lead to desensitization. This means your cat might eventually stop responding to it. So, how often should you offer catnip? Experts recommend once every 2 to 3 weeks. This frequency keeps the experience fresh and exciting for your cat. When it comes to amount, less is more. A sprinkle or two on a toy or scratching post is usually enough to get the party started. What if your cat doesn't react to catnip? No worries, there are alternatives like silvervine or valerian root that might tickle their fancy. Now, let's see how much you've learned about cats and catnip. Ready for a fun quiz about cats and catnip? Let's test your knowledge. Question 1. What's the active ingredient in catnip? Is it A, nepentolactone, B, catnipol, or C, feline fine? Moving on to question 2. What percentage of cats are not affected by catnip? Is it A, 20%, B, 50%, or C, 30%? Question 3 throws a curveball. Can catnip affect other animals? Is it A, yes, especially dogs, B, no, only felines, or C, yes, particularly rodents? And for our final question, how often should you give catnip to your cat? Is it A, once a day, B, once a week, or C, as often as they want? All right, that wraps up our catnip quiz. We hope you enjoyed testing your feline knowledge. Remember, the answers to these questions can help you better understand your cat and their interaction with catnip. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, the more you know about your feline friend, the better you can make them purr with happiness.